of my birth. Haruna, Haruna.
Listen all day, every day on your favorite streaming platform. The clean and fresh sound. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
We are back with another segment of this morning's Activated Mornings program for Monday, blessed day of Monday, sacred day of Monday, the day everybody can't wait to be done. That same Monday, all right? It is what it is, folks. It is what it is, but you are in the land of the living and hopefully the land of the working. So fix your faces and get to work, all right? So we are in our Talk to Us segment. And this is where we encourage you, the listeners, to call us at 457-9997 to become interactive or get even more interactive with us, right? You can pose a question to us or you can give us feedback on something in particular that we may have spoken about earlier this morning, all right? So we are in our Talk to Us segment. And as usual, well, we're waiting for Doc to come in. But until then, we are giving you the usual 10 seconds to post something to us or to call. And if you don't, we're going to... Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, my lovely Roleza. How are you doing? And to Dianna as well.
Good morning.
Good morning, our lovely Dave. And how are you?
I thought you were going to say good morning to my lovely Dave. Don't look for no excuses.
No, but I did say my lovely Dave. Oh, no, our lovely Dave. Our lovely Dave. A sharing.
Yeah, must why you share.
I've gone dumb, deaf and blind, That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to rub it in. Just trying to rub it in. Yes. I wanted also to touch on that point earlier on. I tried to get in there on the same problem that you've been talking about for a long, long time in terms of how you control or bring up your children or your family and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Let's face it. In recent times, we have been penetrated or infiltrated by other cultures, especially those of us who went abroad. Some of our young folks got involved in America in more than delinquent behavior. So criminals till America had to deport them. And that was something I didn't like because I realized that was going to, it was going to create a problem when you have criminals of high profile, operating in a place like the United States of America, coming back to St. Vincent and to impart their knowledge to those innocent, vulnerable ones here and all of that. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. And all I'm saying here is the young people like you who have got to lead the way, you and Dianna, come to your senses, values, know what value, well, it all depends on how you see values that are important in building a better society and all of that. I am happy that, like I love to say, I was born in the 20th century and I'm still living in the 21st century, so I've got a taste of what it was like. Right? Because that's why I used to that's why I kind of give up now. I talk about the crimes that have overcome St. Vincent and Grenadines. Maybe not totally, but I don't want it, what is happening now in today's intelligent society never happened in my time growing up as a youngster. And that's why I always make my voice heard about the crime situation. And for some people, no, they just suck their teeth. There's no big thing that could happen. That's the way of the world. We never made guns, but we have guns coming into the country, like nobody business. And all these things we have to take stock of. If we don't take stock of them, who will take stock of them first? Until things get bad, and then, I remember there was a time when certain criminal activities started to take place here. There was a scene among Vincentians. I don't believe it is anybody from Vinci or any local person. There have to be people come from, around the region or come from outside. Now, what is happening? What is happening? We are close to 40. The last time I heard, we are close to 40. So this is going to, if I'm reading the current trend correctly, we are going to end up by the end of the year with another record-breaking, crime figure in terms of homicides, killings, however you want to look at it. And I also sent out a warning to some of our young women too. I mean, for lack of basic training, good training, not living in a proper environment, home and all of that, they're also in the mix. So if you get two persons, man and woman I'm talking about, and they're none could correct the other when it comes to a decent lifestyle and all of that. What do you expect? What are we going to produce or reproduce in that case? So this is nothing new to me, but it's for those of you who have to face up and live with it now, hereafter, you're the ones who have to take the responsibility. I want you to get it. And yes, yesterday I enjoyed the convention of the New Democratic Party, especially with Dr. Kishore Shallow, right? Oh boy, it was real good listening to him. And some of us, because he did not associate himself with the current regime, there are a lot of us out there who crucified him. Why should that be? A man who has a very important role in today's Caribbean society as President of Cricket West Indies. But anyhow, I hope Vincentians will learn, especially those who are politically blinded. I hope they will come to their senses very soon and respect what other Vincentians, have taken the positions that they are in and continue to, because sometimes we don't see that. We only see from our narrow political blindness. So that's a message, and I have to preach it loud and clear. Thank you. Stay sweet, dandy, and nice and so on. Love you guys. Love you.
All right, Dave. Have a good one today. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, that was Dave with mouthful. Speaking of the crime situation, parents being responsible. And I suppose what he's really also trying to say is you have to take your role as parents seriously. Or if you know that you're not ready to be parents, you know what to do, right? And also speaking on the convention, the NDP's convention of yesterday. All right. Hi, Kojo. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I think some people forget how life was when we were growing up. When people from Battletown from Goptown, people from Sahel didn't go here. So there was always that kind of a thing going on, you know. It's just that there was no internet to publicize the thing.
You mean crimes? Certain crimes was still happening.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that year come out real strong there, Kojo.
No internet was there. Trust me. Plenty thing happened.
Agreed. Agreed.
I grew up where I could talk say because he just passed away. We had a fight down bottom down for them. But that time it wasn't gone in Scotland, so still trapped them up even dead anyway. When the force was taken to the hospital, I talking about nearly 40-something years ago now. The man went to the hospital telling the nurse and move and still beat the man on the hospital bed. That happened when I was young as a kid.
Yeah, choppings
and
was happening.
Then?
Beheadings were happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing though, Kojo, what it is, I would always say. So yes, crime always happened. Crime has been happening since Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel times, right? I think what it is that we really should focus on a lot more is the fact that we have a lot more gun-related crimes, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is that the reason why people hearing about it, because when a man kills someone in the country, by the time you hear it in tongue, that's about 10 or 4 days later or something.
Yeah.
It's really old news. You don't, it doesn't spread like that.
Yeah, you had to wait till Friday till the newspapers came out. Right.
Yeah, you can read it and then you say, okay, got another killing. But no, as soon as the man tell you hear it right away. You don't even have to wait. It is not back in the day now. When a man get killed now, people should come down by the mortuary down hospital and line it to see what the cause is. People you know that. People probably forget that. That's how a lot of news used to spread because man will come down by the mortuary to find out who the boss is. Everybody so so. Who it is? It's Kojo. No, it's so. And then when they finally confirmed, everybody start going up the road and start to say, oh, so guy. But we really chopping up and doing things like that. Yes, the tool has changed. The tool has changed. And that's basically most of it. The tool has changed because man been stabbing man been chopping up man. So in the heart of people, in the heart of man, Instant Vincent, to me, it hasn't really changed that much. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
It's a different tool. It's a different tool. That's all it is. They've been killing already. The car is killing.
All right.
They just getting more reckless with it now and don't care. But because before a man would not come in a go in the market where I hear about somebody get shot in the market here. A man would not do that. Most of those things are settled in the village, or in the little community. All I'm saying is just it happened, man.
Yeah, I get you.
So, all
right. So,
and in terms of the children thing, Roleza, I know you means well.
Let me hear. Let me see if I have take it to task again this morning. Let me hear.
Parents. All I'm saying is parents.
But Kojo, we have to face the reality that not everybody who gives birth to a child or every parent who says that they have a child, they're actually performing the role as parents. So some of them need to get a kick. Not a physical kick, I mean a legislative kick, right?
Did you see my post I posted yesterday? About a woman in Trinidad talking about women and having babies?
No, yeah. I didn't see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I personally think a lot of ladies and men is not responsible enough when they think about having what we call sex. You know when you do this thing, when you do this thing unprotected, babies to come. You can't afford babies. There's a lot of free stuff that you could use. You might feel ashamed to come and get it, but there's no shame in it. To me, it's more shameful for you to have a child and you have to go around begging other people for help and all that kind of stuff. And relying on the government to support your kid. When you didn't lie down in the bed with the government, you lie down in the bed with some guy.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I do get you, Kojo. And that is why I always say that if a person knows that they're not ready to have a child, then they should put things in place, right? They should put measures in place. Yes, I heard you talk about accidents happening, etc., etc. But if it happens that one, no, hold on, Kojo, hold on. I'm trying to be on the side of other people who propose that argument. If it happens, right, and they decide to bring the child into the world, then they have to realize that their life at that point in time is no longer about them, but it has to be about their child. But the reality is that not everybody is going to own up to what the reality of their life is, especially if they're making children young. Many of them think that they're missing out on life. Many women think that they're missing out on life. Many men think that, oh, because the mother is there, I don't have to play my part, because as somebody once told me, the child bound to mine, right? The child bound to mine, so you're passing off the responsibility to somebody else. But we can't look at it like that.
Really sure. You see, that's another problem, is that they will have babies, but they will in every expensive party, doing the most expensive clothes. So when they get money that they could take care of the child, they spend it to get the hair done to look good.
Yeah, but you see, that also shows that they're not mature enough. That's what it is.
And that, yeah, we're making the same point. That's what I'm saying. It's the same point we're making, that it's like, if you know you can't afford, like me, I know I can't afford one. But I get my one, I say, well, one is hard enough for me to deal with. I done.
Yep.
I made that decision when I was 29 years old. I was a big man. I was still working then. I could have probably do what I wanted. But I knew that one was enough. A matter of fact, I didn't really want to have kids for some reason. Because when I watched the amount of kids on this, without help. Because when I used to go to school, I used to have to bring people home to my mother. My mother used to split a plate of food and divide food when I bring people home. That's how I learned that giving is good. So I mean, people just have to take responsibility and prioritize the thing. You can't be partying 24/7 when you have 3 children. The same money you're going to get the man up the road up there, think about your child. And a lot of people don't do that. They don't prioritize you properly. They think about a child and then they start begging other people for money. The next thing, they might go to a guy. The guy says, boy, I'm not passing up the money for free. And they do what they have to do without even protection again, but not a baby. So I mean, reality is reality. We got to take care of ourselves. The women of them have to take care of themselves in terms of babies. I mean, I'm not saying you're old enough to do your thing. You could do your thing, but if you're a fertile woman, you're going to have babies. So just protect yourself, and you don't have to have that trouble anymore. All
right. Thanks, Kojo. All right, this is one of those topics where, boy, I don't know, right? Part of it sometimes also goes back to people feeling, as I was telling somebody recently, there are sometimes society makes a woman feel like she's lesser of a woman for not having a child. Even if, let's say, she cannot make children or she's choosing not to make children. Yeah, but I've spoken at length on this topic, so I'm not going to go down that road again, right? All right, so we have somebody else. Let's take that call. Hi, caller. Good morning. Hi, caller. Morning. All right. So Dr. Thompson has joined us. Dr. Thompson, I don't know if you have anything that you wanted to raise coming on to the tail end of what you probably heard.
Yes, sorry about that. It's the connections and so. This stuff is so complex. When you track death rates, birth rates over the years, many years ago, the death rate during childbirth, the death rate in the first 6 months, 6 years of life was relatively high. And so parents used to have a lot of kids. Kids didn't necessarily was not great. Modern medicine has allowed that to take place, and birth rates have fallen, death rates have fallen. But I think in some societies that it's still relatively high for lots of reasons. Matter of fact, there's a chart that shows that in a number of countries, birth rate is so low that the population is actually decreasing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a challenge of what one needs to do. But the ability to take care of a child, whether you should have 2 or 3, I think that your economic status doesn't necessarily mean how you will love, how you will take care of your child. I've seen high-profile families, business people, they're so much more interested in the business and running the business. They have nannies, they have people to take care of the child. We have a large population from the Caribbean who take care of kids in America and United States and Canada and so forth. And also in England, the people don't necessarily take care of their children directly by going on vacation with them. It's a complex issue,
Yeah, and at this
depending
point,
on our culture and our
yeah, and at this point, it's to each their own. If you think that financially and emotionally you are ready to bring a child into the world, then do so. But when persons fail to do so, they become our problem. These children become our problems, right? But yes, people do need to take stock of themselves. Avoid the pressure from society. Avoid the pressure from this or that person saying, when you're bringing a child, this and that. If you know, especially, I'm speaking especially to the women, if you know that you're not ready, safeguard yourself.
Yes.
Safeguard yourself.
Thank you.
Society is not necessarily going to be there to help you with this child. I remember, as I was saying before, something like that. Somebody asked me.
Listen, at the same time, still connected. This is the subject of the presidential debate in the United States, and what a number of states is saying that it's not just related, but if you become pregnant, you have to have the child. Somebody may adopt it from.
There's a different.
No.
I don't know if I'm losing you.
I feel like there's a different thing.
Yeah, you kind of did, argument. But yeah, I still no. That's no. I don't think anybody should give me or dictate what it is that I should do.
Correct.
Correct.
Body. And I personally believe that a man should never, ever have a say in anything to do with a woman's body. That should be our right to speak. And whatever law is associated with our bodies, we should be the ones to make them. Not a man who is never going to know what it is like to go through what we go through with our bodies. I am against that.
All right, so we're losing Dr. Thompson. Just to say something in relation to coaching, because we have to jump out in a few seconds. I know that there are many times that persons, especially older persons, romanticize the past, right? They make it sound like everything of back in the day was all fine and dandy. Everything that our generation does, our younger generation do, that is all negative and so forth. And as Coach correctly said, that things were happening back in the day, but it's because we have social media now. Why it is that instantaneously we know of what is happening. So it looks like a lot more is happening. But I do have to make the point that yes, while it is that we would be recognizing that there's more crime happening in terms of statistically, the thing of it is that it's a lot more gun-related crime. So what it means is that people are not finding separate means of settling their conflicts, right? And I think that is what we really need to zero in on. Why is it that persons do not know how to settle their conflicts? Now, if you and somebody start a fight, a physical fight, after the fight finish, you probably cool out and there is no retribution happening afterwards. But why is it that the first thing is to resort to maybe getting a gun, shooting, and all the other things that come along with it? So yeah, we're going to have to end because Rajiv going to dip in his head just now. All right. So Doc, we have come to the end of our interactive segments for today. And of course, we look forward to having you in studio with us next week. All right. Doc? Doc is frozen again. He's frozen again. All right. So we are going to jump out at this time and bring to you today's Community Dateline.